Yeah. Okay. There. There we go. Over here. What's going on, old path? You doing all right today, buddy? I really got to build this table up better. I figured I would start out with my bee trap since I'm down to my last one. Do I sound okay? Is anybody out there? Let's see here. Okay. Maybe that'll be better. There they are. Let's see here. Who's next? Hello, is anybody out there? Guys, I can't see the chat all the time right now. I will look in on yous every once in a while, though. For those of you that don't know, this will be loud. Crap. Oh yeah, now I know what it is. Just put anything behind that. Okay, let's see here. There. Maybe. This thing's still pretty damp, and it's been down here for days. Yeah, old Pat, I'm doing pretty good. The bridge that got washed out down here below my house is going to be reopened Friday. And I have permission to set up a table at the store, so I'm trying to get me some little stuff built up to set up down there and sell, because I know there'll be a lot of traffic through there when that bridge opens up. I never did even check to make sure I had it. Yep. What's going on, Olay? You doing all right today, Olay? Damn, that's a lot of sawdust. You guys got any good ideas of some little stuff to slap together this week to set up and sell? Where's my brush? There it is. Okay. Okay, got 14 out of that one. Okie dokie. I figured I would do some bee traps and some bluebird houses. I've got some keychain cell phone holders ready to go. Getting ready to get some bottle openers done today. Just trying to find a bunch of stuff I can make that will probably be pretty easy, that are kind of cheap. Because I know nobody don't have money to buy anything good right now. Hey, Razor, how's it going, buddy? Yeah, everybody's had some video trouble here lately. Who said that now? I done forgot. OA? Mike had some trouble out of one of his videos. I gotta get me a bigger miter saw. That's all there is to it. So do you guys ever go in your shop and just sit around and not really do anything? It's going okay, Razor. Just waiting to hear if I get to draw unemployment or not. Hopefully I'll get to. Because wood's expensive. Good God, how many staples did they put in this damn thing? Oh, got a storm blowing in. I just heard the thunder. Bet my dog's about to go nuts. He don't like storms at all. Can you guys hear that thunder in the background? Okay, there we go. Hey, old Pat, do you use pressure treated wood for your bee traps or no? I've heard a lot of big conversations about it, but I mean, honestly, I don't see any real difference. I've seen them chew through all kinds of pressure treated wood, so I don't really see what the difference would be. I never was much of a mechanic. I mean, I can do some small stuff, but I can't do much big work. I sure could. I don't know. I might could put a whole motor together if I had to, but I've never done it before, so. Hell, pressure treated is the only 4x4s I can find around here that are not completely split all the way down the middle, and most of these are split too, but not near as bad. Hopefully Wednesday I can go to the sawmill on the other side of town and see what they've got, if they've got anything. God damn it. Well, that sounds bad. Can you guys hear that thunder? Okay, as long as it ain't like really loud over the live, I'm not worried about it. I know that bird that was outside last night when I first started was terribly loud. Took me forever to figure out what that squeaking noise was, but it was that bird. Holy shit. We don't get very many real big birds that I see anyway. We got a lot of songbirds though. I mean, they're all over the damn place. I mean, I'm sure they're here somewhere, but I ain't never seen them in the yard. It would be pretty cool to get some falcons in the yard, though, honestly. That would be cool to watch. I mean, I know we've got plenty of rabbits and squirrels and stuff around here, but we just don't see them here in the yard. Or across the road in the woods either. Really? Well, I may have to turn the heater on these for a day. I did learn an important lesson about buying Craftsman sandpaper. It sucks. The Hercules sandpaper ain't real good either. Out of all the sandpapers that I've used, I guess I like Gator the best. What sandpaper do you guys use? I don't think I've ever seen Diablo sandpaper anywhere, even at Lowe's. We got quite a few turkeys around here. Deer too. They don't come in the yard during the day anyway, but I'd say they probably do at night, but yeah, turkeys can sure be funny, but they sure taste good too. I can't believe how wet that still is. If I had my choice, I would just as soon eat deer and turkey than beef and chicken. Just because I like the way it tastes better. They must have had some trouble with this 4x4 when it went through the printer that prints the wording on it, because it's had spots of ink all over it like that right there. There was a big spot on this piece too. Hey Don, how's it going?
Incoming voice call from +1 423 556 9840.
I'll be right back, guys. Sorry about that. I had a call come in that I just so happened to see. Oklahoma and Texas. I hope we don't get that crap here. Oh, Lordy. We're getting a fair amount of rain right now. And yeah, you're right. I probably should have sanded that down before I cut it. But I mean, I end up sanding them 3 or 4 times. I do try to make them look good. I sand them down a little bit before I take them through the table saw to shape the top, and then after I get done with that, I sand them down again, and I sand them down a 3rd time a little bit more after I drill them. I'm just really smoothing them down right now. I've got this hand planer I could try on it, but the shape these 4x4s are in, I don't know if one might explode or not. Broke the transmission. How did you do that? Yeah, not it. Maybe. I ain't never thought about this before for this, but it might work. Plywood, what's going on? I'm sorry, guys. I'm being paged upstairs. Give me just I'm back, guys. Sorry about that. Hey, 13-year-old. Have a good one, Razor. Sorry it took me so long. I didn't realize I was going to have to run all the way to the neighbor's house and back. But I'm here now, so I don't know how well this will work for doing this one or not. I'm going to try it, though, to see if it don't make this first sanding a little bit easier. I guess that'll be okay just for the smoothing down sanding anyway. You working on anything today, 13-year-old? Well, that ain't no good. You and Plywood are both injured. Of course, you're a year or two younger than Plywood, so you might heal up a little bit quicker. Not that I'm saying Plywood's old or anything, but, you know, the facts are the facts. Plywood does have an awesome beard, though, that we all aspire to have one day. It only took him 85 years to grow it. I'm sorry, Plywood. I shouldn't be picking on you. I love you. I'm doing carpenter bee traps right now. Well, Blue, that's what happens when you log into a woodworking channel. You're going to get noises. At least it wasn't the table saw you logged straight into. Right now, 13-year-old, I'm working on some carpenter bee traps. I'm getting some inventory of everything set up. The river bridge down below my house got washed away during Halloween, and they're going to have it back open Friday, and I have permission to set up a table at the store next to the bridge, so I'm going to set me a table up that day. I think there'll be a whole lot of traffic through there that day. I can't wait to try it out. Did you ask what's wrong with plywood? I mean, that's a pretty big list there, 13-year-old. I don't know if we got time to go through all that today or not. I mean, there's all kinds of mental problems before you get to the physical. He's like me. He's crazy and insane. But he's got an awesome beard. I guess that worked out okay for a first sanding. Yeah, rotator cuffs really suck when they get injured, for sure. Hell, I think it was 2009 when I hurt mine, and it still ain't right. Of course, they wouldn't do surgery. They said it wasn't quite bad enough for surgery, but it was so bad that physical therapy didn't help. So, oh yeah, it hurts for sure, and can't lift your arm up all the way or anything else. It's annoying as all hell. Of course, I don't think I've ever had an injury that ever healed exactly like it was supposed to. Now that bicep, I'd say, is what really hurts. Sorry for the roller coaster ride there, guys. I know that wasn't fun. Blue, if you're still in here, it's about to get loud here in just a minute. This is the loudest piece of equipment I have. At least right now, anyway. "13-year-old, when you're working in your shop, always make sure you wear your safety glasses. Always. Because you can, for example, use a miter saw 100 times and never have a problem, and then cut down into a piece of wood with it and the piece of wood explode on you. And yes, I have had that happen recently. So always be safe. Safety glasses for sure. You probably want to protect your hearing with earplugs when you're using really loud stuff. Never wear gloves or rings of any kind. Because there was a guy where I used to work that had a wedding ring on and got his finger caught in a machine, and it done what they call degloving the finger, which is pulling the skin and muscle off of the bone. And they had to show us all a nice picture of that so we would get the idea. Yeah, I mean, I get that. It slips my mind sometimes too. I understand that. But I do try to set a good example, especially when I'm on live or on videos, but I mean, I know it slips everybody's mind. It does. It does all of us. But best thing to do is get you a couple of pairs of safety glasses and put them right next to every machine. Like, for example, get you a strip of wood, like say this, and cut you a little groove right here and right here on the ends, and tie you a string from this end over to the other end, really tight. Maybe glue it down in some spots, and then you can hang safety glasses on that strip. And it don't have to be big. You can make just little strips to like go on every saw or everything you have where you're working, your workbench and stuff. And that way you've got a pair wherever you're working, and maybe you'll see it and think of it. Okay, let's see here. I think it might be enough. Damn shot gnome's got my square. Oh. What the hell? Oh, there it is. Okay, I found it. Good. And always, always, always know where your hands are at all times. Okay, watch your ears. This is going to be loud. Make sure it got it just a bit. Okay, there should be good. Yeah, that's about right. Used it right here a minute ago. What the hell? Oh, I love how tools just magically walk away. It's the shot gnomes, I'm telling you. There it is. Or if you wear an apron like I do, you could always put it in the apron. That would be a way to keep up with them too and think about them. Ooh, damn. Yeah, man, that's crazy. Have I got a good angle for you guys to see what's going on? I mean, I know most of you know what's going on. You're just hanging out to talk, but I do know some people come in to actually watch builds. So can you guys see what I'm doing okay? I don't have a way to check while I'm doing it. Okay, thank you guys. Appreciate it. I need to put a hook on my table so to hang this brush on. Hey Northwest, how you doing today? Thank you guys for greeting him for me. I can't believe this 4x4 is still this wet. Look at that. Completely soaked there and then dry over here. And this has been in my shop since I released my last video, so at least a few days. Hey, Blue, when we go across, well, we won't be going that way, will we? Never mind. Yeah, every 4x4 I've bought this year has been complete garbage. It really is crazy. I'm gonna go to a sawmill one day this week and see what they got. See if they don't have anything better. Even if I have to pay a couple of dollars more, it would be worth it. Yep, I had that happen on the last 4x4 I bought. Every piece of it cracked. And it wasn't cut square. But yeah, 13-year-old, I built my workbench. It was like probably my 4th project that I did, because I got really tired of working on the floor. But I built it out of either pallet wood or scrap wood from a pallet company. So, matter of fact, that's what everything in my shop's been built out of. Here, I'll give you the tour. There's my workbench. The only thing on it that is not either pallet wood or scrap wood from a pallet company is the shelf, and it's an old piece of house siding, wood house siding. I bought the sheet of pegboard, but I framed it with pallet runners, and I couldn't screw it into the block wall, so I made some wood hooks out of some pallet runners just to hook over the top of the cinder blocks to hang there, and it works just great. There's my wood racket. It's made out of pallet wood. Same with my miter saw stand. It's pallet wood. There's my grind table. It's pallet wood or wood from a pallet company. My stool. I was really broke when I first started. So it didn't cost me much at all to get outfitted. Yeah, it really sucks when you're doing that and something cracks. But that's the first 4x4 that I dried out that cracked like it did. The end's cracked, it ain't square. But look at that crap. Looks like a loaf of bread. Hey, I am a basement dweller from Northeast Tennessee. Very good. Have a good one, 13. All of those statements are true, Plywood. I'll skip this. It's supposed to be on vibrate. Hang on just a second, guys. Sorry about that.